I've been gaming for 37 years with no breaks in between. Ever since I was a kid all the way up till now, I never took a break. I've been a lifelong, full-time gamer. I have played a lot of the best games that have ever been made, and I've played some of the worst trash can garbage you have ever seen. I'm RNG Gamer. I play all my games randomly, and these are the best games I've ever played. Now, this isn't a comprehensive list, and this is just my opinion, although I think my opinion's pretty valid. This is the third video in this series, and I've covered several other games in the previous videos. But let's just dive right in. JRPGs are an absolutely beloved genre out there. They're known for having great stories and long run times. When you play a JRPG, you're expecting to be immersed into the world, drawn in. You want to know the world around you, and you want to get to know the characters. And there's a game that draws you in and lets you know the characters better than any other JRPG I've ever played. And it's Persona 4. You play as a high school student who's been moved from a big city to a more rural town in Japan. It's quaint, it's charming, it's full of lovely people, but there's a problem. See, every time there's a big rainstorm, if you turn on your TV at the right time, you get pulled into this nightmarish hellscape. Kids from the high school, well, they keep coming up missing. No one can find them, but there are rumors swirling around. So what do? You take it upon yourself to go in and find them and bring them out. As you do this, you build up your party of new characters. You experience their inner turmoil and the struggles they're dealing with. See, you have to face their inner demons when you enter into this other dimension. And once they're out and you save them, they join up with you. You feel like you really know them. So you didn't just fight some random dungeon boss. No, you fought their psyche. You've been in their mind. You know them inside and out. And they know what they were going through, and they want to help other people too. Take all this dungeon crawling and saving your friends and mix it in with a sim life sort of gameplay where you attend school, you take tests, you chat with your friends, you build up relationships, and you feel like you are part of this community. Never have I played a game before where I was so closely tied to the other characters in the game. The impactful moments in Persona 4 are not really like going into the dungeon and being the big bosses. No, it's the time where you and your friends decide to go down to the local mall to try to pick up women. Or the time you take the school field trip and what happens there. Those moments are the ones that stand out to you. Those are the ones that are really memorable. And that's exactly what this game is. It's unbelievably memorable. Just talking about it now makes me want to play it again because I want to visit with my friends. That's what the characters are in this game. They're your friends, not the main character's friends, your friends. I miss them. I miss hearing what they have to say, and they are so well acted and they are so funny. I cannot wait for the remake of this game to come out because, surprise, surprise, just like Atlas always does, they're gonna put it out again. Really looking forward to it. I can't wait to go back. And if you like JRPGs, and you like good stories, and you like great characters, there's no better game that meets all those criteria than Persona 4. If any of these games interest you, let me tell you about today's sponsor, Goodiez. Goodiez is my favorite online marketplace for buying, selling, and trading games. And now you can trade in multiple games at once. You don't have to just do one at a time. You can do a whole batch of them. And if you trade in more than $200 worth, shipping is free. And let me tell you why you want the free shipping. For a limited time only, Goodiez is selling new Pokemon games for $59.99. In the days where new games are like freaking $80, getting a game, especially a Pokemon game, for like the old-timey price, the before time price, that's amazing. If you've got small games sitting around that you don't want or play anymore, trade them into Goodiez. Get your Pokemon game and get you some credit to use in the Goodiez online marketplace. It has new games, it has old games. You're not limited by what's in your local store. You're only limited by the tens of thousands of listings on Goodiez. If that sounds interesting to you, there's a link to that in the description down below. Go check them out. Thank you so much, Goodiez, for sponsoring this video. Let's talk about some more games. When I was younger, we would go rent a video game almost every single Friday night. And I remember after getting my PlayStation, I saw this game everybody was talking about. It was called Resident Evil. I rented it with my friend. We got to the part where the dogs jumped through the window and it scared us so bad we shut off the console, and neither one of us played a horror game for like over a decade. Now, the Resident Evil franchise is one of the most popular and big franchises in the entire world. And I had played a few Resident Evil games with my friends in co-op. I played number 5, I played number 6. They were, you know, good, but not great. But it wasn't until I played the re-release of Resident Evil 1 Remake on the PS4 that I got won over. Let's talk about Resident Evil Remake. My copy is autographed by the voice actress who played Jill Valentine. That's what all that stuff is. I never got it. I never got what survival horror or Resident Evil was all about until I played this game. Like I said, I played Resident Evil 5 and 6. They were like action fests, okay? They were spooky, they were scary, but they were just heart-pumping, just action movies, really. But the original Resident Evil is not like that at all. You and your team of friends are sent to investigate a mansion. For most of the game, you're by yourself. Now, you can play either as Chris Redfield or Jill Valentine. They have their own strengths and weaknesses. You want to play through the game twice, once with each, but you're alone and you're exploring. And that is the difference between survival horror and action. It's not about killing every zombie in every room. It's about solving the puzzles. See, most of the doors in this mansion are locked. You need to explore and solve puzzles to get keys to open new doors, to get to new areas, to get more items, to get to other areas. It's the gameplay style of a Metroidvania. That's how a real good survival horror game works. A small, enclosed environment full of tons of puzzles and discovery. The gameplay is magical. The mansion is put together in such a unique way. Tons of cool enemies, and it's not just about killing as many zombies as possible, because it's survival. You just have to survive. You might only have 5 bullets, and a zombie takes 6 bullets to kill. How can you get around this zombie without taking damage, without having to kill him? Do you have to kill him? A lot of times, no, you don't. You're limited by how many items you can carry at a time. You can't pick up everything you want, even ammo. Even weapons take up inventory slots. You have to shuffle things around. Every decision you make is calculated. It's almost like a puzzle game. Now, the mansion in Resident Evil is the most memorable location in any video game I've ever played. It feels like a real place. And I've played through this game so many times. I played through it with Chris. I played through it with Jill. I played through it again on a knife run. Knife only. I only used a knife. I played through it another time where I didn't save the game at all. I died on the very last enemy of the game, but I did it. I did it. Slow, methodical, well-crafted environments and a sense of discovery is what makes survival horror fun. And they nailed it perfectly with the first Resident Evil and also the remake, which looks so great, and the PS4 release of the remake. I think they're remaking it again. I'll play it again. I will play this game every time it comes out. The original Resident Evil is nothing short of magical. It's an unbelievably great game. The Resident Evil franchise is great. It's probably my favorite franchise of all time, and it's all because of this game. If you have not played Resident Evil Remake on the PS4 or the GameCube, you really, really, really need to do that. If you've been scared away because you think it's just zombie slaying, it's not like that at all. When I remember the game, I barely even think about the zombies. I think about where to find the hidden keys. This next segment is brought to you by channel member Minarum. Thank you so much, Minarum, for your support. I really appreciate it. Lucas Pope is one of the best game designers of all time. He's designed 2 games that I've played that were just absolute masterpieces. And we're going to talk about one of his games right now. It's Return of the Obra Dinn. Now, what is this game? When you first see it, you're going to be taken aback by its graphics because no game has ever looked like this before. It is 3D environments, but it looks like old ASCII character EGA graphics from early PC games. The story of this is that you're an insurance adjuster, and a ghost ship called the Obra Dinn has rolled into port, and everybody on board is dead. And it's your job to investigate and figure out who all was on the ship, how they died, and like every other insurance adjuster, figure out if you need to make the insurance payout, right? You're given the manifest of the ship with the ledger of all the people on board. You're also given a stopwatch that allows you to reverse time whenever you see a body and explore the environment around them. You start off with the last survivors on the entire ship and how they met their demise, and you slowly work your way back in time, figuring out what happened to each and every person. Maybe you see a dead body at the bottom of the stairs, and someone's at the top of the stairs, and you think, well, obviously, this person at the top of the stairs pushed them down the stairs. But then you look around the corner, and you may see someone pointing a gun around the corner at them. And the person at the top of the stairs actually just witnessed it. You go upstairs onto the deck of the ship, you see somebody that wasn't in the ledger. They're not on the manifest. They're not there. They're a stowaway. Somebody new you didn't know about that opens up new avenues for investigation. There are lots of murder investigation games, but they're very small. This is a murder mystery with like 40 people that are all very closely related to each other. This is the best investigation game I have ever seen. It's the one I have to use my brain more than any other, and almost every second of this game is like a eureka moment. It's beautiful. It's so well thought out. I have zero complaints about this game, and it's one of the best games I have ever played, and one of the most memorable. I wish I could tell you more about it, but I don't want to spoil any more than I already have. You need to experience Return of the Obra Dinn. Any gamer, not puzzle gamers, not action gamers, any gamer, if you like games, you need to play Return of the Obra Dinn. There is literally nothing like it, and it's a master class on game design. Let's talk about a game that's in my top 5, maybe top 3 favorite games of all time. I've played it so many times. I own it, I think, on every single version that's ever been released. I'm about to show you the Japanese version, but it's Final Fantasy Tactics. One of the things that makes Final Fantasy Tactics so great is that it really doesn't have anything to do with Final Fantasy. This game was created and designed by the people that made the Ogre Battle games, which made similar games. These are tactical RPGs. This one was like, I don't know, commissioned for, they were commissioned to make this game by Square. And it takes place in Ivalice, which was like a Final Fantasy world that didn't really exist up to this point. But now there are other Final Fantasy games, like Final Fantasy 12, that take place in this same universe. It's a political turmoil story about betraying each other and backstabbing each other, and like political unrest and like a changing of the guard, and two countries hate each other. It's a lot of political drama. And the story is very hard to follow, and it's kind of hard to follow on the English version because it wasn't translated extremely well. The War of the Lions version of Final Fantasy Tactics came out on the PSP that has a better translation, is kind of the definitive way to play it. But what is this game? You have a great cast of characters, and you have turn-based, grid-based tactical battles. All of the characters are very different. They all have their strengths, they all have their weaknesses, although there are some that are mega overpowered, there's some that are super underpowered. But the game design of this is great. One of the best features is that each character, as you use them, they gain new abilities. And the other characters in your party can see them using those abilities and also learn to use them themselves. And by doing this, you unlock one of the multitude of different classes in the game. These designs are so creative. You have ninjas, knights, archers, apothecaries, mimics, dancers, dragoons, just all these cool classes that you get to play around with. The game is not super hard, you can cheese the game, but the characters are so memorable and the gameplay is so fun and it is so well designed. The overworld map takes you to new parts of the country in different regions. You have random battles along the way. There's tons of hidden content. The main story of the game, it's not really what you think it is. It's all a big ruse. It's so well put together and it's so much fun. And I have played so many other tactics games because I loved this one so much. And while a lot of them have been really great, none of them have been as memorable as Final Fantasy Tactics. It's by far my favorite Final Fantasy game, even though it's not even really a Final Fantasy game. It just carries the title. If you like tactical RPGs, or if you like RPGs of any kind, you should definitely play this. I could almost guarantee you're gonna have a great time with it. When I was in my early teen, full motion video games were all the rage. Why design some like clunky, stupid looking character that's polygonal and like poorly designed? We can just film someone. We can just get like an R-grade actor and film them in front of like a green screen and just like superimpose that into the game. That'll be great. Graphics are more important than control, right? We don't want the game to play well, we just want it to look good. That was the modus operandi of the day, right? The MO of the game designers, and they did that. Also, what was really popular were adventure games. Not as much as they were in the 80s, like King's Quest and Police Quest and the Monkey Island games, where you like wandered around trying to solve puzzles, and you like, you know, you rub the candlestick on the fireplace to make a fire, and then like that, the smoke scares a bird that flies away and it lays an egg, and then you use that. You know, that like, you just trying random crap till it works kind of game. Well, there's a game that combines those two things. Two things that I just kind of like harped on and said they weren't great. Well, combine those two things together and you get the best adventure game I've ever played. It's Roberta Williams's Phantasmagoria. Roberta Williams is a legendary game designer. She made some of the most classic computer games back in the day, including, I think, the first one that had graphics that wasn't just text-based. She's still kicking around today and putting out games, she and her husband. But they definitely put this one out. This game was notorious because it has 7 CD-ROMs in it. It's a huge game with full motion video and acting and live music and some controversial scenes. They're not so controversial these days, but when they came out, like, people were losing their minds. So you play as a young woman who has moved to a small town with her husband. She's a novelist, I believe, and he's a photographer, so, you know, obviously, these starving artists buy the biggest mansion in town, right? A mansion that belonged to a crazed magician who possibly killed his, like, many different wives in horrible, gruesome ways in the mansion. Now, you explore around the mansion, trying to find new areas. You know, the pantry's locked. You gotta figure out how to get into the pantry. And then there's a secret passage in the pantry that takes you to the catacombs underneath the freaking mansion. And you go into town and you ask people questions. You walk around exploring. Now, what I love about this game, 1, the environment's really cool. 2, the story's great. 3, the characters are great. It's real kitschy and fun. But you have a helper in the game. If you ever get lost, you can just ask him for a hint. You don't have to buy a strategy guide. You don't have to wander around lost forever. You actually have someone that can help you through the game. You're not gonna get stuck unless you soft lock yourself like I did the very first time I played this. By the way, put the newspaper under the door of the pantry. See, the key falls on the newspaper. Use the screwdriver on the key floor, and then there's no way to get it out. Okay, I just saved you 2 years of wandering around frustrated, by the way, which is what happened to me. All right, this is a great game. It's a lot of fun. You see is what you get, but it does take some dark turns, and there are some gruesome murder scenes in this game that, at the time, I mean, they were very controversial. Okay, I'm not gonna say they're not. They still are, but this game is so much fun. I love wandering around. I love seeing the slow animations. I love the way it works. Now, you can buy this game on GOG right now, really cheap, and download it. You'll have a great time with it. It's a little pricey to buy the physical version. I should know. I paid through the nose for it, okay? But it is a fantastic game. It's my favorite adventure game of all time. I think Phantasmagoria is one of the best games ever made. Now, when you make a video like this, you obviously think, well, I want to let them know about awesome games. But like, they already know what the awesome games are. Like, you guys know what a bunch of 10 out of 10 games are. You're gamers, you've played awesome stuff. I could pick something like really obvious, but you're gonna be like, yeah, of course, that's one of the greatest games of all time. So like, what do I do? Not tell you about it? No, I'm not gonna do that. This is a list of the best games, even if we've talked about it. Let's talk about a game we all know is magnificent. Let's just share our love for it and appreciate it. It's Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES. Super Mario Bros. 1 was great. I stayed up all night playing it when I was 5 years old. Super Mario Bros. 2 was also really good. I don't think quite as good, but still a lot of fun. But when Super Mario Bros. 3 came out, people lost their minds. I learned about this from the movie The Wizard, which is where a lot of people learned about it. Did you guys see the movie The Wizard with Fred Savage? Holy crap, what a way to debut the game. Now, normally when I see stuff like this, and even back then I knew like, they're just building it up because like, you know, they have to work hard to sell it because it can't sell itself. That is not the case with Super Mario Bros. 3. When was the last time you played this game? Pop this in and play it, and just really tell me how the controls feel. Because I don't think any game has ever had better controls than this. Like, these are the best controls I ever got, and all you can do is just hope to achieve the same sort of thing. The graphics are beautiful, like beyond the capabilities of the NES, okay? These look like TurboGrafx 16 graphics. The worlds are varied. there's this map you get to kind of explore on. You don't have to take the same route every time. No, there are hidden areas, there are side events, there's like roaming enemies on the map. There's so much cool stuff. You have the Tanuki suit. You have all these upgrades. Almost every level is super memorable from this game. Now, I will say this. I've played other great Mario games. Super Mario Galaxy was great, both of them. I don't really remember a bunch of levels from those. I remember the whole game being great. But when I close my eyes and think back to Super Mario Bros. 3, it's like I can play the game in my head. I can't really do that with Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2 outside of a few stages. And here's the thing, I didn't play Super Mario Bros. 3 more than those games. I didn't actually own Super Mario Bros. 3 until I was a game collector. I bought my copy of Super Mario Bros. 3 in like 2008. I played it maybe 5 or 6 times before that in my entire life. I like rented it and played it at a friend's house. 2008 was around the same year I played Super Mario Galaxy. I played them at the same time, yet this one stands out more. It has some of the best game design ever, some of the best music ever, some of just the best ideas ever. You can always count on a Mario game to take some simple idea and just expound on it to the point where it is, not expand upon it. I'm expounding upon the idea. They expanded upon the idea, taking all these simple ideas and just doing everything they can with them. And I remember this really being the first example of that. Super Mario Bros. 3, 10 out of 10 game. No one's gonna debate that. Let's give it the honor it's due. One of the best games of all time. Thank you guys for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Do that for me. Subscribe to the channel. The names you see on the screen, well, those are my channel members and my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to become a channel member or Patreon supporter, you can find the links to that in the description down below. You get early access to the videos, you can get your names in the videos, you can get a shout out in a video, you get access to member exclusive videos. I couldn't do it without them, and I appreciate them so much, and I appreciate you too. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next video.